Good evening and welcome to the second episode of our video series where we examine the answers to the just concluded 2023 WAEC Oral English Examination, which is WAEC Paper 3. And today we shall be looking at section 2 of that paper, and section 2 covers question number 16 to question 30. Alright, and that section is popularly known as the section of consonant, and it comes with the instruction identifying same consonant sound. Now, if you are going to do well in this section of identifying same consonant sounds, there are 5 tips, okay, that you must have at your fingertips. The first one is the ability to identify consonant sounds, okay, and to know their appropriate symbols. Then number 2 is the ability to recognize consonant clusters. When you have clusters like STR in street, okay, that is 3 clusters of S, T, and R. Ability to identify consonant clusters. And then number 3 is the ability to identify silent consonants. Like when you have a word like debt, okay, it's not debt, it's debt. And then we have a word like what? Comb. It's not comb, it's comb, not comb. Okay, so ability to identify silent consonants is also going to be a plus. And number 4 is the ability to identify past tense markers, and number 5 is the ability to identify plural markers. All right. Now, these are the tips that you need to succeed with this section. 1, the ability to identify the consonant sounds, okay? Then number 2, ability to recognize consonant clusters. 3, ability to identify silent consonants. Number 4, ability to identify plural markers. And number 5, ability to identify past tense what? Markers. So if you can handle these tips very well, you are going to do well in this section of identifying same consonant sounds. Now, let us begin. Question 16. Orchid. The sound that is underlined is represented by the symbol K. So you are going to have consonant K here. So the first option is skewer. Skewer. There is K sound here. So let's just suspect that. Option B, scepter. So for this, you are going to have S. This C is silent here, it's not pronounced. And then option C, you have sham. Sham. Here is K, here is S. Sham. This one is she sound. She. Okay, and then this one is chagrin. Chagrin. So for this one is what? She as well. So at the end of the day, the option that has the same sound as the sound that is underlined is option what? A, skewer, orchid. Question 17. Picture. Picture. The sound that is on the line is represented by the symbol chi. Chi. Okay? Chi. Then for option A, you have nation. Nation. So the sound that is represented here is chi. Nation. B, you have castor. Castor. So the sound that is represented here is T. T. Then here you have lurch. Lurch. The sound that's represented here is chi again. And then here you have passion. Passion. The sound that's represented here is chi. At the end of the day, the option that has the same sound as the sound that is underlined in the question is option C, which is lurch. Question 18, fish. The sound that is underlined here is represented by the consonant sh. Option A, vision. The letter S here is represented by the consonant j. Okay? And then you have B, onshore. The S sound here is represented by the consonant sh, onshore. Sh. Okay? And it's the same sound that is present in things like SH. So when you have SH, you're also going to have a sound like sh. Then C. Craze. The sound that is represented here is Z, craze. And then for D, you have feature, feature. The sound that is represented here is she. At the end of the day, the option that has the same sound as the sound that is underlined in the question is option B, where you have unsure, feature. Question 19, you have visit. This letter S here is denoted by the consonant Z. So you have visit, not visit, it's visit. Option A, you have face. So the sound that is represented by this C, letter C here is S. Take note that all letters C in production give us either the sound S or they give us the sound K. Alright, so that is that. Then you have B, mouse. This X letter here is represented by the sound S as well. And here you have KZ. The S here is represented by the letter Z. And then option D, you have kiss. The C here is represented by the letter S as well. So at the end of the day, the option that has the same sound as the sound that is underlined in the question is option C. So you mark your C. Question 20, hack. The sound that is underlined here is represented by the consonant he. Then option A, you have shadow. Here you have the consonant she. Please take note of this word because it has different pronunciations in American and British English. Americans would pronounce this word as schedule, but in British English, which is a variety of English, pronounce this word as schedule. Then you have option B, honorable. In honorable here, H is completely silent. There is no consonant he in this word. It's pronounced as honorable. H is silent. Remember, item number 3 is ability to identify silent consonants, so it is key in this section. Option C, behavior, behavior. So the sound, the consonant he sound is produced here. Option D, you have exhibit, exhibit. So this X here will give you the consonant G. It will give you G and Z. So you have something like E, G, Z, and then you have E, and you have bit, exhibit. So you will now discover that the only option that has the same sound as the sound that is underlined to the question is option C, which is behavior. Question 21, left. The sound that is underlined here is represented by the consonant li. Okay? So what about this option? Here you have bulk, bulk. So L is pronounced here. So you can have your li, and then here you have yoke, yoke. Remember your silent consonant, yoke. L is not pronounced here. So here you have the L is silent. You can use this for a silent sound. And then this is cold, silent consonant as well. L is silent, so you can use this sound. There's no L sound here. Then you have half. L as well is silent here. You don't have the consonant L here. So for this question, the correct answer is A, which is bulk. But for other words, you're going to have things like yoke, cold, half. Okay, so they don't go. For the next one, you have question 21, fly. The sound that is underlined in the question is represented by the consonant F. Consonant F. So for option A, you have revive. Revive. There is no F consonant in this word. So what you have is V. What about though? Though. There is no consonant F in this word, but what you have is they, which is though. Though. And the sound is present here. Okay? And for this word, you have tough. Tough. For this GH here, you are going to pronounce F. That is tough. Then for option D, you have do. Do. I think that was what happened in option B. For this word, TH is a silent representation. The GH there, rather, the GH is a silent representation, and then the GH here as well is a silent representation. So at the end of the day, the option that has the correct sound as the sound that is underlying the question is what? Option C, which is tough. Good. So option A, B, and D will not go. Question 23, text. To look at this question very closely, you discover that X and T are what? Jointly underlined. So this will quickly take your mind to one of the characteristics that we mentioned at the beginning of this video, and that is consonant clusters. Ability to recognize consonant clusters. So when you see two letters underlined together, they are already what? Trying to test you on clusters. Now, what are the consonants that are clustered here? Text, text, K, S, and T. That is something like text. So now let's examine option what? A. The first one is kissed. This question is very interesting because apart from testing students on clusters, alright, it is now presenting us again with a word in its past tense. When a word ends with S and it is in past tense form, that ED that makes it perfect is usually pronounced as T. So this word is going to be pronounced as kissed. So the cluster here automatically will become ST. What about west? Fine. This one is a little bit easy to identify. So you are going to have ST here. That is west. Option C. This is another word in its past tense form. Okay. The ED that makes it a past tense is going to be pronounced the same way that you pronounce the ED that made this word a past tense. In other words, if a word ends with S or X, then the ED that makes it a past tense is usually pronounced as what? T. So this word is going to give you fixed. But before you talk about pronouncing this ED as T, take note of this X. X usually gives you a cluster KS. This X, and we know X, K and C. So it usually gives you cluster KS. And then when you now pronounce the ED that makes it a past tense T, you will now have the cluster KST. And that's automatically what we have in our question. But before we mark that as our correct option, let's look at the next option, D, risked. Risked is also a word in its past tense. Okay? Risked is also a word in its past tense. Now, if a word ends with K and is in its past tense, well, you're going to pronounce the same way that you pronounce kiss and fixed. That is, you're going to pronounce it as this ED as T. So now when you come here, you have risked. So, but remember, this is SK already a cluster, so you have SK, risk, skit. That's risked. So you're going to have T here. So which words carries the correct cluster as the one we have in the question? The word is what? C, fixed. Not skitty, but kissed. Kissed. So that is how to answer questions on cluster like we have in question 23. Question 24. Uncle. Uncle. Now, this is a test of clusters here. Okay, once you look at the question, you discover that more than two letters, okay, that is two or more letters are underlined in the question, then you quickly understand that that question is a test of what? Clusters. Now, what are the consonants that are clustered here? The way the word is pronounced, uncle, you quickly know that this is what? The letter N. But it's not going to give you the sound of consonant N here, all right? Because this very consonant is a very important consonant in oral English, all right? This consonant that you see, that is consonant N, it has two possible sounds. Sometimes it can give you the consonant N, and at some other times it will give you N sound, all right? Now the question is, when will the letter N give you N sound or N sound? Very simple. In all appearances of the letter N, it will give you consonant what? Ni. Except if N is preceded by what? If N is preceded by what? K or what? G. Alright? So these are the only conditions that will make the letter Ni to change to N. Just take note of that. Alright? But when it is preceded by G and you have a vowel at the back of it, it will return to the sound of what? Ni. We're going to see it here and I will demonstrate it from these options. Alright. Now let's look at the production here. Uncle. Remember, there is C here. This C will give you the sound of K. Automatically, the sound of this letter N will not be produced as what? Ni, but it will be produced as N. So you're going to have N sound. Now the C itself that we have already agreed is a K sound, so you're going to have K here. And the uncle, then LE, all the letters LE that come together in oral English are realized as just an L, and that gives you O. So this sound now is what? Uncle. Right. Option A, bango. We have already explained that here. Once N is followed by the sound K or G, then you are going to realize what? N sound. Alright? So here you will have it's not an N any longer. So you have and then you have G, and then you have L. That's bango. Alright? That's bango if you like. These two slashes, alright, represent pronounce as or sound as. Alright. Then option B, you have knuckle. Right. For this knuckle, what we have here is that at the beginning you just have an N sound here, so we're not going to reckon with that. But here you have ko, knuckle, ko. So this C and K will give you K sound, and then L, I've already explained that in oral English, all LE are realized as what? L. So you have KL. That's cool. Option C, singe. Now, I explained here that when G follows what? Ni, you're not going to pronounce Ni, you pronounce N. But if the G, alright, is now followed by a vowel like E or R, the sound will return to what? To Ni. Alright, so here you're going to have Ni, and then this G, remember, it is going to give you D and Z, because in oral English, once you have G preceded, okay, or rather followed by what? E, it will no longer take the G sound, but it will now change to G sound. So this is singe. Therefore, option D, you have ankle. Alright, this is N again, okay, that is followed by K, so the sound will change to like we have explained. Alright, and then at the end of the day, you have K. And then I told you all LE are represented as Li, just an L. So you can now decode the correct answer. For the question, we have ankle, that's K and Li. Alright? K and Li. This is G and Li, no. And this is K and Li, no. This is what? Ni and G, no. And this is K and Li. Okay, so the correct answer is what? D. Now we come to 25. Drive. Alright. The sound that is represented by the underline is D. Alright. So let's look for the option here that has a D. When you look at all the options here, A, B, C, and D, you discover that all the words are in their past tense form. And you have to be very careful when you're pronouncing the ED that mark words as what? Past tense. Alright. Now, the first option here is wounded. This is wounded. Alright. So you are going to have ID here for this past tense. Wounded. Then option B, you have kicked. You know you cannot pronounce this word as kicked. So you are going to have kicked. That means this past tense here is going to give you KT. Alright. Then you have C, jumped. Jumped. You know, of course, that you can't pronounce this word as jumped. So it's jumped. So you are going to have PT for this past tense here. Then for the next one, you have risked. I think we produced this word at the beginning. So you know that this past tense, I'm not going to pronounce it as risked. So you're going to say risked. Risked. So you are going to have KT. So at the end of the day, the only option here that has a D is what? A, wounded. Question 26. Laboratory. Now, when you look at the sound that is underlined here, it's going to be represented by the consonant B. Alright? So then, let's go through the option. Option A, you have subtle. Subtle. There's going to be a silent consonant operation here. Don't forget the teeth that we discussed at the beginning. So the B here is silent. You cannot say subtle. Subtle. So B is silent. There's no B here. Then for option B, you have debtor. Here you cannot say debtor. Most students I know will be tempted to pronounce this one as debtor. No, the B is completely silent. You can't say debtor, it's debtor. So there is no B in this word. Option C, thumb. Thumb. B is equally silent here, alright? You cannot pronounce this word as thumb. No, it's thumb. B is silent. What about D? Double. Option D, double. Here you have B, B. Alright, so these two letters will give you one single realization as B. So double. At the end of the day, you discover that the option that has the consonant B here is option D. Then you come to question 27. Upholstery. Upholstery. You have to be very careful with this word because most students tend to pronounce it wrongly and they will give you upholstery. No, it's not upholstery, it's upholstery. The P and E are realized here. So the consonants that are present here are P and E pronounced together. They do not change to F. So if you pronounce this word as upholstery, then you are going to get it wrong. Option A, you have phonetics. Phonetics. So, for the PHs that are present in this word, they can change to what? The consonant phi. Alright? Then here you have upheaval. Upheaval. These PH do not change to F, so they are realized as P and H. Then here you have rehearsal. 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 The H here remains and you will have it as he. And then you have reception. Reception. The C here will be maintained as what? As. And then the T here will be maintained as she. So there's nowhere in this word that you are going to have a production of P, H, or F. At the end of the day, you will discover that the only option that has TH in this pronunciation is upheaval. So B is the correct answer. Question 28, we have the word ruse. For this word, alright, the sound that is underlined is represented by the consonant Z. Alright, so that is ruse. Option A, you have rage. And like we said, when you have G that is followed by the vowel letter E, you are going to realize Z and G, which is G. Then for this word, you have leisure. Leisure. You're going to realize the consonant here for this S. So for this G, you realize G. For this leisure, you realize G. Then for C, you have jest. For this J, you're going to realize D and G. That is jest. Then for this, you have gem. Gem. Just like what you have in C, you're going to realize the G. So at the end of the day, the option that has the same sound as the sound that is underlined in the question is option B, which is leisure, rouge, leisure, rouge. Question 29, vein. So now this is a test of what? TH letters. In oral English, all TH letters are pronounced in two ways. Either you pronounce TH letters as theta or you pronounce TH letters as delta. In oral English, it is only the TH letters that can give the sound th or the. The easiest way to escape this contrasting difference is to go by the Nigerian English style. All the TH letters that we pronounce D in Nigerian English should be realized as the. While all the TH letters that we pronounce T in Nigerian English should be realized as F, which is the theta. For example, if you have thank you, that's not like thank you. So you have, since the TH there is being realized as T in Nigerian English, just note that it is F, that's thank you. For the TH letters like then, people will say then. Alright, so we don't pronounce TH letter as D. So instead of pronouncing D, you better realize it as V. So I think that has already answered our question here. So for this word, you have then, not then. So you are going to have V. What about option A, then? So this one is clear, it's D. So it doesn't have anything to do with TH. Option B, smooth. So this is where many students are going to get confused. You know, in Nigerian English, for example, we still do this word as smooth, smooth. I say, okay, with what I just explained now, let's just therefore say it is smooth. No, it's not smooth, but it is smooth, smooth. We are completely at loss, okay, over this word as far as Nigerian English is concerned. So the sound that is present here is the. Option C, you have third. The sound that is present here is theta, and then option D, wealthy, wealthy. So this TH here is realized as what? Theta. So at the end of the day, the option that has the same sound as the sound that's represented or underlined in the word is option what? B, smooth. Sign. If you go by my explanation at the beginning of this section, you say, okay, this is G and N that are underlined, it's going to be a cluster. So it's not cluster, because the G here is silent, all right? So this is a test of silent consonant and not on consonant clusters. The sound that is underlined here will give you the consonant ni. So what about A, option A, him? The N here is silent, just like G is silent here, and then you are going to have me, okay, as the sound that is underlined or represented here. Option B, thing. So like we explained earlier on, this is ni that is followed by g. It's not going to give you the sound ni anymore, but it will give you n sound, a glottal sound. Then you have found. Alright, this is what? Ni sound. It's not silent, nothing silent here actually. So the ni will still maintain its sound and gives you ni here. Well, what about single? Single. For single, this is what ni that is followed by g, like we explained here, and in one of the questions we've already considered. So it's going to give you the sound. So at the end of the day, you discover that the only option that has the sounds of ni that is underlined in the question is option what? C. That is that on section 2 in the just concluded 2023 WAEC oral English examination. Kindly join me in my next video where we shall be examining the answers to section 3 of the paper.